Welcome back to our channel where we love to talk about the top 10 worst. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the 10 worst movie remakes that we wish we could unsee. Kicking off our list is the Dirty Dancing remake. They managed to take a beloved classic and turn it into a cringe-worthy mess. The casting was a disaster, the script was terrible, and the iconic dance scenes were just painful to watch. It's safe to say that this one won't be having the time of its life anytime soon. Up next is the Wicker Man remake. Nicolas Cage is a fantastic actor, but even he couldn't save this box office bomb. The changes made to the story were nonsensical, the acting was wooden, and the special effects were laughable. This one's a cult classic for all the wrong reasons. The Karate Kid remake is a perfect example of Hollywood's obsession with cashing in on nostalgia. The original was a classic, but this one just felt like a cheap knockoff. The casting of Jaden Smith as the lead was a disaster, and the changes made to the story just didn't work. We'll stick to the wax on wax off method, thank you very much. Next up is the Psycho remake. Why did they even bother? They took a Hitchcock masterpiece and turned it into a shot-for-shot remake that added absolutely nothing to the original. Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates was a casting disaster, and the black and white cinematography just felt like a cheap gimmick. We'll stick to the original, thank you very much. Ben-Hur is a classic that didn't need a remake, but Hollywood went ahead and did it anyway. The changes made to the story were unnecessary, the action scenes were over the top, and the casting of Jack Huston as the lead was a disaster. We'll stick to the Charlton Heston version, thank you very much. Annie is a beloved musical that got a modern-day makeover, and it didn't go well. The changes made to the story just didn't work, and the casting of Quvenzhané Wallis as Annie was a disaster. We love her as an actress, but she was just too young for the role. We'll stick to the original soundtrack, thank you very much. Ghostbusters is a cult classic that should have been left alone. The all-female remake felt like a desperate attempt to cash in on a beloved franchise. The casting was decent, but the script was a disaster. It was like they took everything that made the original great and did the exact opposite. We'll stick to the original proton packs, thank you very much. Total Recall is another classic that didn't need a remake, but Hollywood went ahead and did it anyway. The changes made to the story just didn't work, and the special effects were underwhelming. Colin Farrell as the lead was a casting disaster, and we just couldn't get behind his portrayal of the character. We'll stick to the Schwarzenegger version, thank you very much. Point Break is a classic action movie that got a modern-day makeover, and it fell flat. The changes made to the story were unnecessary, and the casting of Luke Bracey as the lead was a disaster. The action scenes were lackluster, and the film just didn't have the same energy as the original. We'll stick to the Keanu Reeves version. Last but not least, we have the Mummy remake. This one had potential, but it missed the mark by a mile. The changes to the story were nonsensical. The casting of Tom Cruise as the lead was a disaster, and the special effects were underwhelming. It's safe to say that this one was a box office bomb for a reason. And that concludes our list of the 10 worst movie remakes. Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.